Well, this is Hello Malaysia. I'm Anne Edwards, and I'm sure you've heard of the saying TGIF, which is, of course, thank God it's Friday. But for us right here at the studio, thank God it's Wednesday, because Wednesdays are with Ernie Chen, who is founder and CEO of Adson Group of Companies right next to me. And we are into our third week of discussion. And I am also envisaging that today is going to be very, very interesting, which is education in entrepreneurship. Why did you choose this topic, Ernie?
I chose this topic to share my experiences with people out there who are entrepreneurs, who are wanting to either learn how to be entrepreneurs, or people who already are currently running their own businesses and want to have some ideas on how they can do their business better. I'm not going to share with you how to run big companies, because most entrepreneurs who are struggling a little bit right now are either those who have not started out or those who have started a business and they don't really understand what they really need to do to survive or even to do better and to grow their business to the next level. So that's why I felt educating young entrepreneurs to ensure a new dynamic environment is created for Malaysia, and that's very important. More importantly is to develop entrepreneurship for Malaysia as a country. More importantly to understand is that in order for the country to be highly competitive, we need a dynamic entrepreneurial environment created so that people become more competitive and better products, better services, better human capital are created.
And while we're at that, our number to call is 269370008. And we'll also like to welcome a MIRI Community Forum. And this group of people are actually following in this discussion from MIRI. Is that right?
Yeah? That's right. Some of the MIRI community have actually linked me up on Facebook and to invite me to know that they are following. So welcome people from MIRI. Thank you for following us and following the program. It's always good to have people from East Malaysia, West Malaysia, all over Malaysia call us and chat with us so that we can be able to help Malaysians become better citizens of Malaysia.
Yeah, and entrepreneurship is something which is very, very important, highly important, and I'm sure a lot of people out there inspire to be an entrepreneur instead of just you know, going to work and earning a fixed income every month. But of course that is very, very stable and also very secure. So how many people do you reckon, would like to take up that challenge to be entrepreneurs?
I think more importantly is a question of are you suitable to become an entrepreneur? There's absolutely nothing wrong for anyone to become an employee. Right? There's a lot of this say that people keep on telling you, you know, you deserve more, you should have more, and therefore become a businessman is the best thing for you to become an entrepreneur. Start your own business. Every time, every bit of effort you put into it, it belongs to you. You gain from it. But reality is that not everyone is suitable to become an entrepreneur.
How can you tell?
Very simple. First and foremost, you need to ask yourself, do you have enough knowledge, skills, the right attitude, and the consistent habitual actions that you will take to make sure that you succeed? A lot of people are just not hungry enough. A lot of people always think that becoming a businessman, an entrepreneur is the best thing you ever go through. True, that's if that's for you. Again, a lot of people always say that being an entrepreneur, you get to have it on your own time, you work on your own time, you get to do things the way you want it to be. Being your own boss is the greatest thing. Sure, for those who are able to sustain themselves and be able to go with and deal with every month not seeing the paycheck coming in and being comfortable with that. So not many people can actually do that. That's why we have a huge population of employees out there. We also need to have employees who are supporting entrepreneurs, and therefore you have organizations and businesses. Not everyone becoming entrepreneurs will necessarily be good for the country. It becomes a bit too competitive also. So it's always good to have a balance. Some individuals are meant to be the entrepreneurs, some are meant to be the employees. So it's a good balance in that manner.
So is this something that you can learn, or is it talent that you cultivate, or are some people just born to be entrepreneurs and bosses of their own?
I think there's a lot of times we always feel that some people always come to me and tell me, you know, you are born entrepreneur, you know, you have those natural instincts. And where do natural instincts come from? Your personality are developed based on the environment that you live in, that you grow up in. So if you put myself into an environment where it's highly competitive, your natural instinct starts to develop itself to become more competitive in nature. But it has to start when you're young. Again, if you are put in an environment where it's less competitive, in a community where people don't seem to be desiring much, they are just contented, they are just happy with what they have, you're not going to have that many competitive entrepreneurs there.
This comfort zone, yeah?
It's just a comfort zone.
Subscribe to. Yeah.
So, is there anything wrong with that? From my perspective, yes. We should not necessarily need to become an entrepreneur, but as a human being, individual, we must always want more. We must always desire more. We must always want to achieve more, do more, be better. And that's what it's all about. Being an entrepreneur allows us to push ourselves to the limits to help create, innovate, and make things happen that people usually do not see and follow. That's very important.
So that's environment. What about learning to be an entrepreneur? Do we have the platform for it? Do we have the course for it? Are these courses effective to make us become entrepreneurs and to be able to sustain that?
There are tons of courses out there. There are proper academic-driven courses in colleges, universities, which I really, really agree and disagree sometimes. I'll tell you why here shortly. There are also a lot of private courses, workshops by professional organizations who offer entrepreneurial programs to help you in an entrepreneur boot camp. In 5 days, you become a big businessman and you will succeed and teach you all the tricks and strategies. Really, does that really work? That's the question. I don't agree that it will work. What will work is that you do need to attend a program, learn the knowledge, and learn to develop the skills while being mentored by the entrepreneur themselves, consistently, continuously, so that over the period of time you get to make mistakes, learn from the mistakes, at the same time being mentored to do better. We need to be coached consistently. It's not just a 5-day class, 3 days class, and you'll be okay. It's not just going to study a bachelor's of entrepreneurship, master's in entrepreneurship. You graduate thinking that you're going to be an entrepreneur? No. You need to go for courses to learn the knowledge. It'll provide you with the knowledge. Bottom line, the skill sets, you need to go out there and explore on it. You need to go out there and do it. Make the mistakes, learn from the mistakes, and then gain and also lose from it. By losing, you get to learn the best ever lesson. I started my first business at the age of 27. I got cheated straight out and lost 200,000. And I always say that is my best ever MBA course I ever taken in entrepreneurship. Why? Being through a process of learning that there can be people out there desiring to cheat you. And if you get cheated, you tend to be a lot more careful in nature. So when you get cheated one time, great, no problem. But you get cheated twice, you're not as smart anymore. So you become a little bit more sensitive towards what people promise you, what people tell you. Entrepreneurs have this gut instinct, and it tells them that, hey, you know what, I can believe you. Hey, you know what, I don't think you're the person I want to deal with. Why? Because once you've been lied to, you've been cheated once before, you've been burned before, you become more sensitive towards individuals. And it's very important being an entrepreneur, reading personalities, characters, working with different people.
And your gut feeling. Okay, we have our first caller on the line right now, Encik Nizam from Johor Bahru. Hello, Nizam.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Hi. Thanks for joining us. You have a question, and would you like to share
something? I mean, first and foremost, I would like to share Ernie, right?
Yeah. Ernie.
Yeah, Ernie, okay. I'd like to share to you that you really nailed me in my seat, because last 2 weeks I also involved in this conversation. I mean, what you are saying is really nailed me on my seat, because what you say is very, 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 very good and very, very transparent and all that. And unfortunately, last week I was unable to participate. But this week, regarding this entrepreneur, a few issues I want to relate regarding entrepreneur. Before we start with entrepreneurship, don't you think we need the thing called intrapreneurship? The connections. And then the next issue is would be, do you believe that entrepreneurship is actually encourage heritage business instead of developing its own industry? Heritage its own business instead of developing its own and then I agree with you. Some of these you just look at this in the sense of entrepreneurship. I mean, we need to develop new things instead of make it like a franchise issue. For example, a franchise issue. It is just we're running the business that already established. Whether this is suitable, we call it entrepreneurship or what. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Nizam. Great questions.
Yeah, actually, we have...
Three parts of the question.
Yes, three parts.
First part of the question is intrapreneurship. What is intrapreneurship? From many instances, intranet is really about self, within yourself. Do you really have that within yourself to become an intrapreneur or wanting to be an entrepreneur? A lot of times, as I said, people may be capable, but they may not be suitable. Some individuals may be suitable, but they are not capable. What is the difference over here? Capability is the skill sets, the knowledge, the ability to go into a particular industry. Let's say if you want to open a restaurant, you have to have the knowledge and the skills to do the restaurant business. From the capability, you have it, but from the suitability, you know what? Sometimes your personality is better to become an actor. So you're not as suitable to become a restaurant owner, but you're more suitable to become a performer. So that's why you are not suitable to do that business. So intrapreneurship, you need to find yourself by doing enough of different things in your lifetime to know whether, hey, you know what? It's a process elimination. Do this, do that, do this, do that. Find out if that's what you want to do. And a lot of times, if you're very good at doing that thing and you see results, that's what you're good at and that's what you should be doing. Emphasize on that, enhance on it, build on it, and become the expert specialist in that particular area. People will look for you for your expertise and knowledge.
Because you're good in it, anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. And the second question that he asked was heritage business, or should you be developing a new business? It doesn't really matter. I mean, people like YTL as a heritage business that they hand over. I always believe in this. If you hand over a big conglomerate to a family member who is incompetent and not able to do the business well, it will still fail. So it's very much on whether the second generation, third generation have the ability. Tan Sri Francis Yeo has been fantastic in taking on the second generation to ensure that the business continuously grow to become a greater, bigger business, in fact.
Also like NASA Group.
NASA Group as well. The children has become very successful, very young entrepreneurs who have taken over the father's business and really work together as a family to build it further and to take it further. And then, of course, on the contrary, we have people like Tan Sri Tony Fernandez, who is an amazing entrepreneur in itself. Why? Because he develops businesses. He ventures into
he did
everything.
Not inherit anything.
He didn't inherit anything. In fact, he gave up his own house and bought into debts and made a tremendous amount of opportunities and created for him and also Malaysians. And that's what entrepreneurs are. You can either inherit or you can develop.
But they are still entrepreneurs.
They're still entrepreneurs at the end. The most important is that you have the ability to further grow the business, build the business, and make it into something that it was not before. And the third question you asked, franchising business. Is that also entrepreneurship?
Yes.
Of course, because someone has built the brand, they're the brand owners. Bottom line, the business is still your money, your effort, and how you grow it is what you make of it. A same franchise could be franchised by franchisees of 10 different franchisees. But you always find there's some franchisees who do so much better than some other franchisees. In fact, some will be master franchisees, and some would totally close shop. Why? It's really the entrepreneurship in these individuals who have taken up the franchise opportunity. So you think back about it, when they succeed, sometimes they'll thank the master franchisor and saying that, hey, you got a good brand, good products, good service, that's why we did well. If you fail, you blame the franchisor and say that, you know what, it's because you didn't give me the support, your brand is not good enough, and that's why we fail. A lot of it has nothing to do with the brand of the franchisor at all. A lot of it has to do with the individual franchisees who are the entrepreneurs who have taken on that franchise, and whether you succeeded building it or failing building it. We tend to like to blame a lot, we tend to like to complain a lot, and we tend to like to give a lot of excuses. Successful entrepreneurs always remember one thing: you never complain, you never blame, and you never give excuses. If you always do that, you will never succeed as an entrepreneur. That's fact and that's reality.
All right, Ernie, great answers. We'll take a short break and we'll come back from more from Ernie Chen, who is founder and CEO of H264 Group of Companies, and he is called serial entrepreneur. We'll find out what that term means when we come back after the short break. Well, thanks for staying with us. Education and Entrepreneurship. We have Ernie Chen, who is CEO and founder of H264 Group of Companies. And among the many hats that he wears, one of it is serial entrepreneur. You can call us at 2693-7008. We had a caller just now. Very good questions. Ernie, what is a serial entrepreneur?
A serial entrepreneur is not someone who eats cereal when they are an entrepreneur,
I
a
was
serial
thinking more
entrepreneur.
of
There you go.
serial killer,
Serial
or
killer and whatever
something
not.
serial.
A serial killer is someone who consistently look forward to start up new businesses, or they look to acquire businesses, fix them up, sell them, or build it up further, and to make money from it.
And that's what you do.
And that's what I do. I love starting up businesses. I have passion to look into various types of businesses. I like to go against the norm of people saying that, you know, stay focused on one particular business and do well in it. I'm a kind of person who like to stay focused on doing businesses, which is diversify all kinds of different businesses and look into ways of making those businesses work, whatever businesses they may be. Some people love to just do one thing, and they want to do that thing so well they keep pushing that one thing. I'm a person who gets bored very easily. I like to do many different kinds of things. I get adrenaline rush by being involved in a lot of different kinds of things and a lot of different kinds of businesses. So that's why a serial entrepreneur is someone who really look forward to do all kinds of businesses, from one end of starting a restaurant all the way to starting an entertainment business, all the way to being in a training business, whatever business I'm interested to do it. And always looking at how to improve other people's businesses as well. So that's what a serial entrepreneur is.
But there is a saying, jack of all trades, master of none.
Sure.
Are you that jack?
I believe in this one thing today, which is you no longer can become jack of all trades. You have to be jack of all trades and master of one. So it's very important to know a lot of skills, be able to perform in many different areas, but at the same time, you got to be very good at one thing so that you have a general skills that provides you life skills to take you forward. And being an entrepreneur, it helps you have a lot of good life skills, because it's all about being surviving, doing better, getting better, winning. These are all general skills an entrepreneur helps us develop. And when you have all this, you become more competitive. You want to be better all the time. And that leads you to become an entrepreneur if you do a business.
What are the traits, or rather prerequisites, to be an entrepreneur?
There are really no prerequisites to be an entrepreneur. Anyone going out there tomorrow starting a burger store, you're an entrepreneur. Whether you're having a micro business, a small medium enterprise, or a large local conglomerate business that you have built over the years, it's really doesn't matter. As long as you are out there starting out on your own with your own money and building something from scratch, you're an entrepreneur. So anyone can become an entrepreneur. The difference is some entrepreneurs make money. Some entrepreneurs just make love. What do I mean by that? Some entrepreneurs make money because they focus on making money. It's very profit driven, and it's all about going out there, making good money for the business, because that's what we do. We are there to make money for the company. We are paid to make money for the company.
Bottom line, look at it.
Look at it.
What do you do?
What do you do? How do you make money? How do you generate more sales? How do you reduce costs? How do you ensure profit is up there and making sure cash is always there? Cash is king. Some people just focus on making love, right? What do you mean by making love?
What are you doing on TV right now?
Oh, I'm doing some motivational talk, telling my clients, you know what, bottom line is really about helping your company make money. A lot of people always like to think that, you know, we are here in an organization, it's all about being peaceful, harmonious, make love, not war. What's wrong with making war in the organization? It's better to sometimes have a little bit more challenge. You know, having what we call creative abrasion. Challenge one another for the better of the organization, for the better of the product or the service that we're providing. So don't focus on just making love. Sometimes it's important to make money. In fact, everything should be about making money as far as an organization concerned. We are a profit-driven organization, not an NGO, not an NPO, which is non-profit. If you're non-profit, work for a non-profit organization. That's their mission, is to help, not making profit. But you work for an entrepreneurial organization, their mission is to be profit-driven. That's key, that's important. And a lot of entrepreneurs tend to forget that once in a while. They always think it's all about the passion. Rubbish, that's crap. You must focus that if you want to do well as an entrepreneur, you must always focus on making money, first and foremost. Passion can come along once you start making money. Believe me, you will love doing that for a while. After a while, you can start building on your passion once you have money.
Okay, so because the word passion is always used, you know, what do you like so much about your business, you know, and most people would reply, oh, I'm very passionate about that, I'm very passionate about what I do, and that seems to be the key trait.
Great, if you're passionate, I'm happy for you. It's good that you're passionate to do what you do. Some people tend to forget that passion is not the only thing you need. A business needs to make money because it needs to pay bills. If you're very passionate with business, sometimes you spend a little bit too much time on being passionate, making love to the thing that you like to do. You forget about making money. And when it comes to bottom line, we pay bills, is whether you have money to pay bills or not. Organizations today, worldwide, are expecting results. It has become an extremely results-driven country, organization. People are hired to perform. People are hired to deliver results. Organizations will no longer be able to just have you around for the sake of being there and becoming a cost to the organization. So if you are a cost to the organization, you better rest assured that if you're not adding value to your organization, you're not going to be there for too long. Entrepreneurs will not take that, and that's a fact.
And word gets around.
Very quickly. And when words goes around, if you're not able to add value to the entrepreneurs organization, if you're not able to add value to the entrepreneurs organization, you will be removed. Today, we either change ourselves or be changed. Fact, change and get better, or be changed, be removed by the organizations.
Can everyone be an entrepreneur?
Earlier, as I mentioned, everyone can be, but is everyone suitable to be one? You can be if you're running a smaller organization, if you're just not excited being around people a lot. Sometimes you just become the expert, the specialist in just running the show. But remember, if you're just a self-professional, the self-employed individual that you're so good at that, people will always come to you. That becomes a problem. If you don't work, you don't eat. If you don't do, you don't make money. So being the expert is great. People come to you. But after a period of time, it's all leveraging on you. You can be that and be the brand like Oprah, for example. And when your brand is so huge, you can market everything under that brand. That is under your brand. But if you're not able to become the extreme of an Oprah brand, for example, and having your own network station, you better start building a business where you have other people working for you, helping you make money as an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is always being very intelligent in doing three things. Being entrepreneurs, we must always leverage on other people's time, other people's skills, and other people's money. All entrepreneurs, if you want to learn the fundamental about being an entrepreneur, these are the three things that you must always be leveraging on. Smart entrepreneurs always leverage on people's time, people's money, and people's skill.
Okay, and speaking of money, this is usually the complaint or setback. Yeah, I wanted to put this to you much earlier, but didn't quite come out right. But it is about money, and the bottom line is money. Most people would say, oh, it's so difficult to, start my own business. I don't have enough money. Is that a good enough excuse? What do you think?
What makes you think if you don't have money to start a business, you will be able to start a business with money? Is the entrepreneurs are people who are put against challenges that is so ridiculously difficult, but yet they'll figure a way out. I always say entrepreneurs are between, a fine line between becoming an idiot and a genius. If you fail as an entrepreneur, you're an idiot because you are usually doing and proposing things that are really idiotic. But when it works, you become a genius. And everyone will start calling you that brilliant man. What Tony Fernandez did, for example, would have made him an idiot if he failed. But today when he succeeds, the whole world calls him the brilliant man, the genius of all times. Why? Because to do something he did is not a very smart thing to do. But he believed in it, he was passionate and driven by making profits from it, and today is a successful business.
But sometimes you have to be an idiot first before you become a genius.
Definitely. It's always a fine line. If you don't succeed, you will always be seen as an idiot because idiots usually do things that people don't do. That's why people call you an idiot. You are the person who is more of an abnormal person to the rest of the world. I just had this discussion with Rico MD. I believe he's watching tonight also. Mr. Lim. I'll see him tomorrow. And we had this discussion. Some of us are seen as abnormal to the rest of the world. But really, what we are doing makes us really normal. It's the rest of the world that's not really normal. So we are the normal people. The rest of the world are the abnormal people. But to the rest of the world, we are the abnormal people. People who do what is expected.
It's normal.
It's normal. Or are they really abnormal? People who do the extraordinary, are they really normal or the abnormal? So to me, if I'm doing the extraordinary, to me I'm normal because normal people will go beyond and do the extraordinary. For the rest of the world, if you don't do extra, you're just a normal guy. If you want to differentiate yourself, be a tough entrepreneur, you got to do things that no one else is doing. You got to be out there doing things that is highly competitive.
And your core business would be?
My core business is in entertainment, education, and communications. Those are three areas that my business focuses on. A lot of people always ask me, where do you come up with all these ideas to generate businesses? I always tell people, you don't need to have a great idea. You just need to have a good idea that the market demands for. What does that mean? A lot of times we always are trying very hard. The government pushes very hard, having a lot of organizations where are trying to be the next Google, the next Microsoft, the next Facebook. If you notice, every decade means 10 years before one of these companies that will have products that will change the face of the earth. You know, they changes the way we live, the lifestyle.
That's right.
Really, there are really three of them that you really know and remember about. So what's more important is always look at businesses, ideas that are really in existence. Think of how to innovate on them. Look at the existing business, make those businesses better. Find ways that you can do it better, that no one else is doing it, and offer that service to the client, that they'll be very excited that, hey, you know what? We have been having this service, but this is different because this is the cheapest flight I'll ever fly on. So don't try to be too creative and consistently be thinking as an entrepreneur, I need to invent, I need to create this next big thing. We don't necessarily need to be doing that. You can do that, but you don't just have to focus on that. We can very much focus on looking at existing businesses, services, products out there, figuring out ways to make it better, combining things, associate things together and create new things out of it. For example,
like what Steve Jobs did.
Steve Jobs did, you know. Don't have to figure totally fantastic new ideas all the time. I mean, it's hard to come by when you're always creating things. I've once heard of this statement, whatever has been created has already been created. So more importantly today, look at how we can innovate things, making things different from what this original thing is. For example, put the bicycle wheel together with the chair, you become wheelchair. For the mamaks, they're very creative, you know. Put Nescafe together with Milo, you become Neslo. So there's a lot of ways of innovating things, creating new products from existing products itself. So if you're an entrepreneur looking at new business opportunities, keep on looking out. How else can you do that business better, whatever the business may be?
Right. We'll take another short break. When we come back, we will talk about an ongoing debate, Ernie, where entrepreneurship is looked upon as something, whether it can be learned or whether it should be cultivated, or is it something that is an art? Those are the three main questions. We'll be right back after this short break. To stay with us. Yes, the one question that is most probably on everyone's mind right now is that whether entrepreneurship is something that can be taught, or is it something that we learn by doing it? Ernie, can you answer?
Yes, it has to be a combination of both. You can teach someone the knowledge and the know-how of what you need to know, fundamentals of what is cash flow. Why do you need to have cash every single month? Because without cash, there's no business. A lot of people are taught in fundamentals, as long as you're profiting on paper, you do fine. Wrong. Even though on paper you're profiting, you still pay your taxes, but your money is not in yet because you have not collected. So you can have a lot of this knowledge on what entrepreneurship is about, but if you don't go and do it, you're not going to learn the reality of entrepreneurship. Why? Learning provides you no timeline. Doing provides you a timeline. My timeline is every single month I've got bills to pay. If I learn, you know, you got to have a big brand. So you start a business, you put up a lot of money spent in building a nice office because we have the brand image, we have to have this, we have to have that. That's rubbish. You're an entrepreneur. Your job is to first and foremost focus on making money, not having a nice office. If you want to build a big brand, true, but that takes time to build a big brand, not from day one. Day one, you need to focus on generating revenue, generating incomes, because entrepreneurs are not those who go to the bank and take a big loan out. You take a big loan out from day one, you're focusing very much on financing and servicing the banks. So it's more importantly for us to focus on making money so that our money is generated, so that we then use that money and reinvest back in the business so they can grow the business. So it's important to always note that. You can always leverage on the bank's money once you start generating money. And then, as you want to grow your business, leverage on the bank's money to help you grow bigger.
Which is more difficult, to kickstart a business or to sustain it?
Starting a business is very easy. Pay couple of ringgit, register your company, there you go, you have a company.
2 ringgit.
2 ringgit, yeah, 2 ringgit company, and that's how I started my business. So really, sustaining the business, growing the business is the challenging part. You always go through 3 stages. You start off with surviving, secondly, you sustain, and thirdly, growing the business. Everyone thinks that, you know, I'm done with the surviving stage. We have done it, we have made it, we got this business and it's going to last forever. Then they come to realize that, you know what, we actually have to sustain the business. We have to ensure that every single month as we hire more people, we do more business, we have more costs, we have to sustain it. If not, how are you going to grow it? And that's when you move into the third stage of growing. When you start growing, you have more people, you need more space, you need more computers, you need more of everything. Everything just becomes more costly, more difficult, more challenging.
Oh, what are you doing there?
Here I'm sharing with people that your mind over matter. As an entrepreneur, you really need to conquer and win things, and a lot of times you conquer it by overcoming things that you don't think is possible and that you can do. So here I am breaking a plank to overcome the fear of wanting to absorb all these problems, challenges that you do have.
Wow.
So it's mind over matter. I'm not a karate man. But
Taekwondo, perhaps?
at the end of the day, it's really about you desiring it, wanting it so bad, and just letting the energy out and just breaking it. So it's really conquering fears, and entrepreneurship is really about conquering fears. Things that you don't dare do, things that you don't dare leave. The 30 days there, 130 days up, or 28 days or 31 days, your salary don't comes in. So there's a lot of fear of leaving our job, and there's a lot of people out there who wants to become business owners, but they don't dare leave their job because they're afraid of what happens if I don't have the salary? What happens if I don't have business? What happens if I don't have this? If you keep asking what happens and what if, you're never going to become an entrepreneur.
Okay, but some people have left their secure jobs, started up their own business, it didn't work, they fail, so that's why they get back to their secure jobs.
If you fail, that's fine, you know. Most importantly, if you've gone out there, you failed, probably two things happen. You're not ready, you didn't do enough homework, you didn't work enough. Secondly,
cheated.
You just got cheated and you go back in, that's fine, go back in, learn more, build more network, build more opportunities for yourself, come back again. A true entrepreneur is someone who will always be itching to come back out to do new things all the time. So no matter how many times you have failed, you will always want to come back out to do more things together, and that's very important over there.
And was it like that for you?
Yeah, because you know, I failed at the age of 27. You sometimes get too big-headed. You become very successful at a very young age. You win a lot of things. You get a lot of benefits by becoming a fantastic employee to an organization. And what's the next best thing you do? You start your own business because you think you're really that good. When you come and do your own business, it's a whole different world. And you then realize that, hey, you're not that good after all. And that's what I went through. When you're not that good after all, it's okay to not be that good, because that's the whole idea of learning and becoming better. Once you realize that you're not that good, two things can happen. You either become better or you stay there. So I chose to become better, went back to the corporate world to get another employment, learned more, did better, and came back out again at the age of 30. So from 27 failing and starting out again at the age of 30, and today who I am.
Were you ever an employee of a company?
Yes, I've been an employee of many companies. In fact, 25 different companies in total. I've done a lot of different jobs, a lot of different industries, and that also allows me to be more flexible. Entrepreneurs will need to be highly flexible. They must never be rigid. They must be highly flexible to be able to accept ideas, respond to different challenges all the time. It's really about not knowing what's going to happen, but yet at the same time making sure you know what's going to happen. So entrepreneurs must be able to be dealing with the uncertainties and being so calm at it and knowing for a fact this is what's going to happen.
Sounds tough already, Ernie.
It's tough, but again, at the same time, if you are capable and suitable, you will turn out to be an incredible entrepreneur. I had this gentleman who wrote to me on Facebook yesterday. He told me that he met me 6 years ago in one of the leading banks. And then after I said, did I meet you? Do I know you? He said, not really. I met you maybe, but not really. And he was inspired by my story and how we have grown our business. So I congratulate him today that he started his own business. We all start somewhere. No one's going to start and become the next big kahuna, the next big entrepreneur, the next big thing. But you got to start somewhere. If you're afraid, you will forever be afraid. If you come out and you fail, if it's in your heart, you will keep on doing it until you succeed. Don't just stay focused on the passion. Passion is great, but make sure you know how to make money from it. Have a business plan not based by passion. Have a business plan based on making money.
So you must have some financial knowledge That's important.
You got to have some financial knowledge. Let me tell you 3 financial knowledge you need to have. You need to know what is cash. You need to know what is cost. You need to know what is profit. You know these 3 things, you're fine.
Okay.
And most importantly, with all these things said and done, make sure you know how to make money. Sales, 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 generate revenue. A business without sales is not a business. Unless you're a non-profit organization. More importantly, entrepreneurs never say die. Always have a gung-ho, must, can, do attitude. If you fail once, it's not the end of the world. What's the worst thing that can happen? Be a bankrupt. So what? File it, come back up again next time around. It's never the end of the world. It's never say die.
So education is important.
Extremely important.
Yeah, but we've known of people who are dropouts. Steve Jobs, for example.
Bill Gates, Steve Jobs.
Exactly, and a local very famous entrepreneur as well, who has built the tallest buildings in the world, including the one in Dubai, is also a dropout. So education doesn't seem like one of the prerequisites.
Education is a #1 prerequisite. It may not be an academic traditional education. What we're saying is that entrepreneurs are consistently learning. Entrepreneurs are people who learn from everybody around the world. They will learn and read every single book they can get their hands on. They will learn from every other entrepreneurs. They live on them. Yeah? Every opportunity they have to learn from others, they will. They will model after successful entrepreneurs, and they will learn and become more like them. Modeling is very important. Don't be around losers. If you're around losers who tell you, just why go through all the trouble of becoming an entrepreneur? So much work into it. Those are the people you need to get away from. Be around winners, be around other wanting to be or successful entrepreneurs, people who have businesses. You have that common denominator with them. Never stick around people who just want to keep you to be where it is. If you want to do better, you have to be around people who want you to do better, not people who keep on telling you that it's okay, just do what you think is enough, it's alright. That's not the kind of people you want to be around with.
Right, but during like a crisis that we have endured with so far in my lifetime at least, 2 financial crises, and it always looks greener on the other side, especially on the government service side, you know, civil servants.
Sure.
You know, then we start thinking, oh, you know, it's lucky to be on that side.
Even the government is going through a transformation. It used to be the government income is going through a transformation. Today the government is going transformation, which means to say no one is going to be safe anymore. The government is going to be looking for people who's going to be performing. Why? People first, performance now. So the rakyat expect the civil servants to be performing. They're going to be measured by KPIs. If you don't do well, you're going to be fired, like it or not. So it's no longer how it used to be, where it's blanketed, where every civil government servant is going to be having a blanket to take care of you for the rest of your life. If you don't do well, the rakyat reports on you, you're going to be in trouble. Why? Hey, we can say what we want in the media today. Why? Because we want things to be better. So if you are not doing your job well, even if you're working Bernama, you better start doing better, because you can be removed. Change and have the opportunity to decide for yourself before a decision is made on you that you no longer can decide for yourself. Even though in corporate, in the government, we all must think like an entrepreneur. We all must think to keep doing better, doing more, so that we are never at the comfort zone. People are comfortable. Once I remove, you will never realize that that's how much more you need to be getting better at. So whoever you are, government servants, civil servants, do better for your own benefits.
Because there's always an ounce of entrepreneurship, right?
You need that.
You need that, in whether you're a government servant, whether you're in the private sector, and of course if you're your own entrepreneur.
Yeah, you got to have that little bit in you that's always driving you. Entrepreneurs are very highly driven people who wants to achieve better qualities, better results all the time. If you don't have that kind of drive in you, it's going to be able to sustain to do things better. Why you always say, tak apalah, that tidak apa attitude will come into place. And we got to remove that kind of virus of that tidak apa attitude, which we have a lot in Malaysians. It's okay, that can be done tomorrow. No, it cannot be done tomorrow. It needs to be done now. You know, we cannot be going to government service counters to see people serving a whole long queue, and then the 2 person in front there chit-chatting about their Hari Raya rendang, their Hari Raya lemang. That's not what it's all about. We are serving the rakyat. So if you see a long queue, move it up, get faster. We must be measured by how fast we can serve a client, a customer, the rakyat, to ensure things are moving faster, quicker. We have improved a lot, definitely. We have done a lot better from the government service, but we have to keep on getting better, finding ways, improving processes, improve our people processes, and put in place technology to make things greater, better.
Okay, we'll take another short break. Yeah, Ernie, when we come back, we also have another important issue to address with regards to entrepreneurship. That is the mindset and how to make this a culture, especially right here in Malaysia, in our country. Stay with us. Yeah, back with Ernie Chen, who is CEO and founder of Adson Group of Companies. And Ernie, you're also Asia's #1 business coach. You are known to be a TV and radio personality. I've heard you on radio, international speaker, and also serial entrepreneur. You've shared with us a host of tips. We're very grateful for that. But tell us also, because entrepreneurs need to be very hardworking. I understand that to be. You need to be energized all the time. You need to have that drive all the time. So it's all the time. Yeah. How has it been for you? Can you share with us? Where do you get all your energy?
You got to have lots of energy. I learned this from Jack Welch many years ago. He may not be an entrepreneur, but he's a great manager, professional manager who built General Electric, GE, to become a great company.
That's right.
I learned this 4 E's from him, which is, if you're an entrepreneur or a leader, you really got to be having lots of energy. You got to be always be hyped up, energized to want to do things. And then you got to have the second E, which is energizing others. As an entrepreneur, you can't do everything by yourself. You got to have a good team, people that you can energize, get them excited, get them excited moving towards a mission, a vision, a dream that we have together. And thirdly, of course, also, we need to have the edge of making tough decisions. Bottom line, an entrepreneur has got tremendous discipline in execution. The 4 E.
And you are, what are you doing here?
I'm doing a victory storm.
Okay.
A storm where you get people in motion, because in order for people to feel motivated, encouraged, it always starts with actions. So if you get people into physical actions of doing something, that's the first step of driving you forward. So if you can get motions, you can get sounds, people feel a lot more excited naturally. So you don't just sit down and talk. If I were to just sit down and talk without any motions, I wouldn't feel as excited. So when I talk, I have a lot of energy by moving my hands, moving my facial expressions, have a louder voice. I feel energized myself and I feel excited myself. So that's what it's all about.
Don't you ever get tired, Ernie?
2 things why I will never ever get tired. My team, my clients, my family, my relatives always ask me, why are you always like an energized bunny going? Don't you ever get tired? 2 things. First, if you really love what you do and you truly, honestly love what you do, it's like you're playing a game. I'm playing a game of business, and I love to play.
Are you talking about passion here?
It's not just about passion. It's really about loving to play a game. Passion is loving to do something only. But I really not just liking to do it. I like to play it as a game and to win. It's like a game. So if you love something, always treat it like a game. It's like your playground. You will never get tired. Why? Because it's so much fun playing it, and you keep on wanting to play it. So I keep on wanting to start new businesses. Every business I'm interested to do. And why? Because you keep on wanting to learn how to be better at doing business. And therefore, you can help other people do better in their business. Second reason, always make sure that whatever you're doing must be something bigger than yourself. If the thing is bigger than you, it is always tougher to achieve. It's always something that drives you and keeps you wanting to go, so that you can do so much more for the rest of the world. I myself want to be able to do the best I can to help this world become a better place to work, play, for people to live, learn, and work in. So as long as that whole entire vision and mission of yours is to be bigger than yourself, it's not about you, it's about something else, someone else, a bigger cause that you have, that you're driving for, it will keep you going and going. But you got to find that cause. You got to know what's your cause. You got to know what keeps you alive. I know what keeps me alive. I know what I want to be continuously doing, and that's why I'm always energized and always looking forward to energize others, making tough decisions, and also, of course, most importantly, is to make sure it's executed. Good plans are of no value if we do not execute on them.
So effective implementation.
Implementation. Always. Entrepreneurs who are good are people who follow through with plans. And if they have to make tough, edgy decisions, you have to hire faster, you have to fire faster, you just do that. And that's how it works. And that comes with a lot of energy with you to keep on pushing for better, more, so that people are always moving with you. And whether they like it or not, this is the alignment that they have to make, and you just move forward with it.
Who's your mentor, Ernie?
I have lots of mentors that I learn. Mostly are people that I have never met before. So there are people like Richard Branson, there are people like Jack Welch, people like Peter F. Drucker. There are different people that I learn from as far as the practices that they put in place.
Anyone local?
Local will be very much of observing, modeling after Mr. Tan Sri Tony Fernandez, looking after at different individuals of what they do here, and that's what I do.
Yeah? We have a call on the line. Yeah. Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, hi. Oh, you have a question? Go ahead.
Ernie, and evening. Ernie.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, it's not a question, just an opinion.
Sure.
Ernie, as you were saying that people who are educated can be good entrepreneurs, and you have people who are not educated who can also become good entrepreneurs, and those people, by chance, they pick into something, they become entrepreneurs, but some are spoon-fed and given everything, but sometimes cannot function and do well. You see, you look at people like Tan Sri Lim Gotong, the late Tan Sri Lim Gotong. He was nothing. He is not even educated, but because of his sheer hard work, went to the mountains and created something. Today is a fantastic place, and he has, in fact, gone into some other things. Look at Tan Sri Nyanalingam, Tan Sri Tony Fernandez, and many others. Lee Foundation, the guys were not educated, and the Koch brothers. Yeah, they are all. It is as you said that sometimes it's by chance, sometimes it's through whatever they go through their life, and they come up into it. You see, like Tan Sri Ananda Krishnan, he was nothing. He went there to study something, and then today he is, So, what is important is sheer hard work in his innovativeness and sheer greed, sheer love to progress in life will definitely be giving you a good results in whatever you do. Thank you.
Sweet, very sweet.
Correct.
But you make a very quick comment because we need to wrap up very shortly.
Sure.
Unfortunately. Yeah, go ahead, Ernie.
I think you said it on the point itself. A lot of individuals just need to have continuous education, which is not necessary from an academic standpoint, but generally continuously learning, unlearning, relearning, and continuously learn to be better. It will not just help you become a good entrepreneur, it will help you become a good human being, to become a good employee, to become a good boss, to become a good human being, period. That's important. So to wrap up, I promise this young little girl, I think probably my youngest viewer out there, her name is Shireen. I'm supposed to be waving at her.
And she's watching.
I'm supposed to be
Hi,
waving at
Shireen.
her. So I'm waving at you now, you're watching and you're waving at the TV. So Shireen and family, the Louis family, thank you very much, and hope all you guys out there will take action, do something about it, become better, become great entrepreneurs.
Great. And next week we have also a very interesting topic, and that is something on, of course, Malaysia Boleh. Yeah,
That's right.
Patriotism. Quick insight on that?
Patriotism. We have started to find that true Malaysians are feeling lost at times. There's too much politics going on, and sometimes politics get in the way of helping us build patriotism in Malaysians. I'm a Malaysian. I love being a Malaysian. I came back to Malaysia because I'm a Malaysian, and I want other Malaysians to feel how can you develop patriotism not just in our younger generation but also in Malaysians today. We represent the brand Malaysia. How can we represent the brand Malaysia better? How can we develop patriotism in each and every one of us here so that we keep on shouting out that we can? It's not just Malaysia Boleh, but we can, and we can do better as Malaysians.
Spoken from a true Malaysian. Thank you so much, Ernie. Thank you for your time. Unfortunately, we need to wrap up, and of course, we'll have Ernie back again with us next Wednesday. Today was also very interesting. We've, of course, ruled out the fact that we can't have this tidak apa attitude. Get out of your comfort zone, focus, make money, be an entrepreneur. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Anne Edwards. We'll see you again.